Well, hello, Steiff super fans. I cannot tell you how excited I am to share this unboxing with you today. I knew this was coming and I know what it is. And I have to tell you, I have personally never handled one of these. I've never actually even seen one in its complete form in real life. And I'm guessing that maybe you haven't either. So climb on board. Here we go. We're about to enter the unboxing zone. All right. So here is the box. It came all the way from Las Vegas, of all places, which is sort of perfect in every way. Came on FedEx. It was supposed to come yesterday. It came today. So, of course, I've been very excited and very nervous for it to arrive because this is pretty special. So I'm going to take the box, which you see here, and I'm going to open it up or try to and get this goodie out for you to see and to appreciate. I have extra scissors here as my support and wingman. I'll get this open. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And we're pulling out the item. Oh, isn't that funny? I told you it was coming from Las Vegas and the packaging, La Mirage of Las Vegas. How fabulous and wonderful is that? All right, now we're going to open up the goodie. Very goodie. And another double the fun. More Las Vegas. And he's wrapped in paper. Oh boy. This is so off the charts fantastic and so off the charts unusual. So open your eyes and get ready to be astonished by what I'm going to share with you. Okay, are you ready? I am. Here we go. What do we got here? Do you know what this is? This is something so phenomenal. Oh my God, let me just give it a hug. Okay. All right, I have regrouped. What this is Steiff's very early 1930s era Mimimokolo mechanical orangutan. I know that's a lot of words and a lot of vowels, but I want you to take a look at this. This is an item that is just so unusual because it was made for so few years and so few of them are still in existence. Let me give you some basics on him. Let me give you his measurements. My trusty. Okay, he's about 30 centimeters tall. Okay, he is fully jointed and he's made of this fabulous orange, long orange, luxurious mohair. He's got great felt feet and hands. But what I really want you to notice is how his face, now can you see how many seams and how detailed it is in his wonderful mouth and his glass pupil eyes? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that when you, are you seeing what I see? Literally, this little guy has these fabulous eyeballs. This wonderful facial technology is embedded in his rather large head, tightly packed in there with Excelsior, and this enables his eyes to move. Now, I did a little research on this because I knew it was coming, and I wanted to read you the instructions that came with these Mimimokulos when they were marketed. So let me just read this to you. By moving his right ear backwards and forwards, the monkey assumes comical expressions, looking left or right. By moving the ear up and down, the monkey can be made to look friendly or angry. I doubt he could look angry. He might look pensive. How could this look angry? Moving his eyes up and down. By moving the right ear in a circular motion, the monkey's eyes can be rolled. Do not turn the ear around, just push it. So how wonderful is that? So that was Steiff describing how this works. And you can see he's got this phenomenal and all original movement. Let's look for some IDs. He does, no surprise, he has his trailing F button and remnants of his red ear tag. So this guy is absolutely fabulous. Let me give you just a tiny bit of historical background on what makes him so super cool and where he lives in the Steiff product development sort of family and tree and timeline. So this guy was made for a handful of years at the very beginning of the 1930s, and he came in a couple of sizes, and they had to be big enough. This was based on Steiff's baby orangutan pattern, which is adorable. You can see the orangutangness of him, nice and orange, but he had to be big enough to hold the technology. So these were made in the somewhat larger sizes of that particular model. Now, in the 1930s, the early 1930s, Steiff was at a really interesting point in its product development. Times at Steiff and times in Germany across Europe were not great. It was the rise of fascism, and there was economic problems and a whole bunch of other issues. Steiff went in two distinct directions with its product development in the very early 1930s. They either went really high end or really low end. And by really low end, I don't mean cheap or yucky or anything like that. I just mean less expensive and really able to be afforded by most people. The really high-end stuff that was designed for people who were still quite affluent and could afford these types of things. For the low-end things, if you think about it, items like the woolen miniatures came out at the very early 1930s and were part of that strategy to provide items for people who couldn't afford a lot of money on Steiff, but still wanted to collect. So those woolen miniatures were produced. On the higher end, you look at something like this. Can you imagine how much work it took to do the technology and the engineering and even the construction? Look at the number of facial seams. He's enjoying the sun like I am, but this guy has so many facial seams and it took so much work to put together. Tail moves head items were also produced in the early 1930s as a higher end product. And also those snap animals like the snap circus elephant and the snap circus bear with the great jointings and the tail moves head features were produced at the same time as this Mimimokolo to, again, address that higher end market. So it's a really neat piece. Wasn't that commercially successful? I think over the handful of years it was produced, less than 2,000 models were produced. So you're looking at one of the lone survivors, and he's just fabulous, and he's in such nice working condition for what he is. But that's Mimimokolo. That's where he fits in Steiff's history of the pre-war sort of product development leading up to the World War II era. But he is lovely and he is working. And I've been asked to handle him and send him to a premier auction because we felt his current owners felt that he should return to Germany and find his new home from there. And I totally agree. That's a wonderful strategy. So be on the lookout for him. But I wanted to share him and his wonderful story and his wonderful condition and just his absolute rarity and absolute adorableness with you firsthand. Anyway, that's what I have for you. I guess we can say Mimimokolo hugs. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for your interest in Steiff. And we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.